We are back so soon.
So quick.
We could not stay away.
We missed Cube so much. We're just like, can we just
Let's
watch
just
some more
go
Cube?
again. Let's
just
go again.
watch some more Cube.
And you know what we're ready to see is we're ready to see 2 Hall of Famers play for cheese.
For cheese. Yeah, we're in the final round of the Cheese Stands Alone tournament here at CubeCon. We're running the Live the Dream Cube, a cube that I made along with the help of David White long ago, and I'm so honored and lucky to have it here featured in this very high-stakes cheese-oriented tournament.
Right.
I'm really excited for some good cheese craft singles.
This is the highest stakes cheese-based Magic tournament in history.
I believe that to be true.
And you have been a part of it.
Yeah, I mean, that charcuterie board with all the cheese, I wish I could be playing this tournament.
I actually do too. Like, non-ironically, we're making a bunch of jokes about it. We'll have it when it's done. We're going to pull the winner into the booth between 2 Hall of Famers, Reed Duke and Bob Marr, and we'll show off the board. It is legitimately really awesome.
Yeah, no, I love a good board state, and I can't wait to see that board with cheese all on it.
Well, let's go to the actual board state because our players are ready down in the feature match area, and this is what they're playing for. They're playing for cheese.
There's the big cheeses. They're
playing for cheese, and it's all seriousness.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that equates 1 food token. Every time you crack a food token, you're eating that amount of cheese.
That's okay. So
that's
goal,
3 life right there.
Can you give Oko's not in the cube, right?
Correct.
Okay. So you can't make a food token, give it to your opponent, and then put it in a position where they have to constantly eat food tokens because that would be a way to win.
That's a nightmare. That's not a dream.
It's a dream for somebody.
Yeah, that's the Matilda nightmare, eating the chocolate cake, but it's cheese instead of chocolate cake.
Look, that's not what Charlie Kelly thinks. Okay, there's no. How much cheese is too much cheese? There's no amount.
There's no answer. The limit does not exist.
Right.
So it looks like Reed is mulliganing, which when you have 10 drops in your hand in your deck and basic lands, you need to bridge that gap somehow. So this cultivator, there's some cards in Reed's hand that add additional mana, but he's keeping the removal spell. Along with 4 basic lands,
I believe. This is a mold of 5.
Mold of 5.
This is a mold of 5. We have Unexpectedly Absent, at least a Forest. But you know what? If there's anyone that can dig out of this,
I trust it's Reed Duke.
I think it might be Reed Duke. We have a Plains and Island on the battlefield with a Forest in hand, but Bob's going to come in hot on turn 2 with not a Growth Spiral, but a Lotus Cobra.
I mean, Lotus Cobra can add more mana. You can play a Prismatic Vista. Boom, 5 mana. Jason Minor Sculptor, Spell Pierce.
Amazing.
So Reed Duke did draw Restoration of Eiganjo.
Man, this is a powerful mold to 5.
This ain't bad.
No, it's not
ain't
as
bad.
good as it gets, honestly.
Yep. So that lets Reed discard a Plains or discard a card next turn and bring it back to the battlefield. You'll probably choose a land. Maybe that Plains that Reed searched up.
I would say that's a good chance that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, you can also play that Plains untapped by just playing it for your land for the turn. That way you keep up Unexpectedly Absent, able to recast as a removal spell, and then bring back some other land that Reed discarded to. So not only this Restoration of Ganjo is a ramp spell, but also is a threat. It eventually starts pumping out tokens, start attacking. And speaking of attacking, Lotus Cobra is coming in for 2, as it is wont to do.
And we're going to see a Vizier being cycled.
Cycled on turn 2.
Which is going to get Bob a little bit deeper into his deck by 1 card, but untap a land untap a permanent whenever you cycle something. But it looks like we have a passing of the turn. And let me tell you, if you've mulled to 5, one of the things you really would like to see is your opponent playing a ramp deck fail to ramp.
Yep.
And not just fail to ramp, fail to even play a 3rd land on their turn.
Yeah, so the ramp spell Bob has is Lotus Cobra, which you need lands to play. Meanwhile, Reed Duke plays a green creature of his own that is kind of like a Lotus Cobra, but the land comes into play. And you'll get the land every turn, and it's any forest.
The thing that I love about this is Reed played the Doric upside down because he's like, you've never read this card. Here, I'm gonna let you read it.
Yeah, here's Sophia. Yeah. Here, take a good look.
Yeah,
she's a tiefling. Can wild shape many times in one day. Have you seen the movie?
I have.
It's a good one.
Very good, yeah. I hope a second one gets made. It was a lot of fun.
I hope so, too.
Exceeded my expectations greatly.
Yeah, unfortunately, Bob Marr's draw has not been exceeding his, and he passes the turn yet again, sadly, with just the 2 lands in play.
So I do have a question related. While Reed is going through his turn, there's not a Jornathan card.
Jornathan?
And I think that there should be.
Well, he was talked about a lot in the movie.
He showed up at the end.
Yeah, the practical effects of that character were amazing if you ever watched the behind the scenes. Just the actor walking around. And yeah, Jornathan, I don't think even Jornathan could explain this match of like how Reed is hitting all these spells when he mulled 4 basic lands and an unexpectedly absent, which he still hasn't cast. Reed could have put that Lotus Cobra on top and deny Bob another draw step of a spell.
And I think that could be coming, but Reed is content to ramp more with Felwar Stone and then probably play, we'll put a Lutri in the hand. So that's going to cause some. Oh, we know what that is. Now Bob does not know, but look at the face he's making. He might know. He actually might know.
I think he knows.
So we have likely an Orange Epiphany.
There are only there's only one foretold card in the cube.
Yeah.
So it is not a secret.
It has been foretold.
It has been foretold.
Yeah, and Reed's walking through saying, "Here's how I used all of my mana. I attacked you. I did all this stuff." Bob quickly running out of time.
Yep. This needs to be a good one.
It has accelerated. He took the long draw, reached back, looked at it, and says, "You know what? I know what that is." And Reed's gonna show him. Bob's like, "Yeah, I know, buddy."
That draw step took the scenic route to get to the destination and was like, "You know what? Now that we're here, let's just take a minute and rest and just do something else for a while." So anytime you're playing a game of Magic, whether it's on the Pro Tour against a Hall of Famer, or perhaps it's a CubeCon against a Hall of Famer, and you mull to 5, don't give up.
Right.
Don't give up. Maybe your hand is 4 basic lands and a removal spell. Maybe you end up never even casting that removal spell.
No, didn't need to,
and just winning the game.
Right.
Handedly.
Yeah, if something that's also easy, much like that game is for Reed, is how easy it is to sell your Magic cards, because one of our sponsors is Card Conduit.
Yes.
And they are the best way to sell your Magic cards. You can ship them your unsorted Magic cards, and Card Conduit will sort and grade them and find the best buy list price in their major retailer network. You're getting paid the total sum, and Card Conduit only takes a small fee for getting you the best prices for your cards. Go to cardconduit.com to get started.
Card Conduit.
Now, all of our sponsors, thank you for all having a bunch of C's in your name, including CubeCon.
C's are in.
But Card Conduit, that's the best way to get your cards. So we want to thank them as a sponsor and definitely check them out. And I would bet that, sometimes I've bought and sold cards myself in a previous life.
Oh, interesting.
And, as you might know, sometimes people get if they get beaten down, they're like, I want to get rid of this deck. Well, you don't really do that with the cube because, you're not selling your cube.
Yeah, well, you
don't own the cards.
Cubes mean a lot of feelings, a lot of people put a lot of their essence and their experience and their stories into cubes. A dredge deck, meanwhile, just take this dredge deck.
Right.
What? It's not a cube, is it? It's a dredge deck.
Right.
So
you're playing a different game anyway.
Yeah,
they're Magic cards legally.
Sure. Like as the kids say, check your bulk. Card Conduit will check your bulk for you.
They sure will. Players that don't have any bulk are Bob Maher and Reed do.
No.
Only powerful, gigantic, incredibly swingy spells. We didn't see many of them out of Bob, but we did see Bob's deck last round, so we know that there are a lot of very dangerous things lurking. And I think that game would have been very different had Bob had a third land, a third land.
I'm going to guess he had either a Cultivator or Kodama's Reach, so once he hit that one land, he could go off to the races. Maybe Kodama's Reach into a land with Lotus Cobra Trigger, blah, blah, blah. So on and so forth. But just didn't happen this game. But the good thing about CubeCon is you play best of 3.
That's right. So we got
traditional.
We have at least one more coming up, potentially 2 more. I got to be honest.
I hope it's 2.
I would keep me too. Me too.
We're not rooting for people. We're impartial here in the booth, but we like seeing games of Magic.
I'm rooting for more Magic.
I'm always rooting for more Magic.
Rooting for more Cube.
Yeah, more Cube. More Cube.
More Cube.
There are 49 other featured cubes here. So here
we got Cube all weekend, but this is the first one.
I can't wait. We cubed last night, you and I.
We did.
I hope we cube many more days.
I also hope to cube. That's one of the things about being here, being one of the organizers. It can be difficult to do the fun thing.
Well, you're
You're
sacrificing so much to facilitate the fun, and we thank you for it. I'm sure everybody else does here.
Well, but Bob's starting off with a tap land. Looks like
Deathcap
Glade. Nice, and then a Plains from Reed. And we do not see a 2-drop, no Lotus Cobra, but we do know that Bob is going to hit his 3rd land drop no matter what, and then probably his 4th based on what we got going on. Reed might be looking to get off to a quicker start, and we're going to see a Forest and then deploying.
Yep, so this is Scholar of New Horizons. It is basically a 1/1 with the +1/+1 counter on it, but you can remove a counter from a permanent you control to get a Plains.
And it comes with one.
Yeah, it comes with you get a free one.
That's interesting. Always, yeah, you always get one for free. That's how they get you hooked.
So would be a cool thing is maybe Reed had Restoration of a Gonjo in play, and then you just search a planes. You just remove a counter. Get a planes.
My friend, is a combination.
That is a dream to live.
That is definite. That's a 2 and 3 mana dream to live. Those are
rare.
Those are some of the best.
Those are hard to come by.
Those are hard to come by. But you know what? Reed has assembled it.
Yeah, meanwhile, Bob has his head in his hand as he only has 3 lands, and they're all green and black producing.
What a miserable life.
Yeah.
Only 3 lands.
Only 3 lands. But we can't all be Reed Duke and start off with the strongest play in the game of plains into forest.
Okay, arguable.
Yeah. So Reed did find that land in the form of Zeator's Triumph, I think.
It looks like we might have a Binding of the Old Gods in Bob's hand, which could be deployed. Do you even want to deploy it? You might need to just find another land drop. And Reed is going to continue ramping with a Llanowar Visionary, which is going to draw a card and provide mana if Reed's able to untap with it. Bob's going to come down and probably play this Binding of the Old Gods to blow something up, probably the Visionary, and then do a little bit of ramping on his next turn.
Yep, so Binding the Old Gods, not Binding of the Old Gods, as Scott named before. Not only is it removal, but it's also ramp. And like in the Live the Dream Cube, that's where you want to be. You want removal and ramp. That's the 2 R's.
So basically,
Read, writing, rhythm,
removal, ramp.
Ramp, yeah.
Yep, got it. Definitely not arithmetic with that one.
Not that one.
This is. Are you saying this is the ideal card in the cube potentially?
You may not like it, but this is ideal Live the Dream cardboard.
This is what an ideal dream living looks like.
Yeah. So it looks like Reed is inspecting one of his cards. It has 2 sides, 2 faces. Off on the side, I believe that was Garrick Relentless. So he can just make sure he knows exactly what the other side of this card does.
I do love a Garrick Relentless.
Yeah, because Reed can make some wolves. He also has the option of fighting his own Scholar to transform the Garrick and maybe get a Whirly Tutor up next turn. And it looks like that's exactly what he's going to be doing.
And we're going to be flipping Garrick Relentless over into Garrick of the Veil Cursed on the backside, which is going to make 1/1 wolves, which are smaller than 2/2s, but they have Death Touch.
Yes. Oh, so here we're Reed activated his Scholar and removed the loyalty counter from Garrick, and Garrick has a static ability when it has 2 or fewer loyalty counters. Transform it.
Oh my! That is a we've unlocked a new dream.
Yeah,
a new dream has been unlocked, and then because Garrick wasn't activated,
you can activate Garrick and +1 make a Black Wolf with Death Touch.
My goodness!
I honestly did not expect this play to happen.
You put 2 Hall of Famers in your cube playing for a bunch of cheese, and you're going to see the best possible plays.
The real is it dream is you put a lot of ingredients in a vat and see what happens, and not even know what's going to happen. You get some Hall of Famers with those ingredients, and like magic happens.
Truly. That was, I mean, it took us a second. It took us a second to put that one together.
So if I was playing it, I just would have fought my Scholar and transformed. Instead, Reed Duke, the Hall of Famer, found the line that does something amazing.
This is, God, Reed is hungry.
I hope he's not lactose intolerant.
I don't. He's not.
I hope nobody in the.
I actually do know that he's not. I don't know for everyone, but I know Reed's gonna have some cheese. Bob's probably gonna get some cheese too, because again, not legally safe for someone to consume that amount of cheese.
Well, I mean, over a period of time, I'm sure it is, but during CubeCon, the best 4 to 5 days in cubing,
you don't want to put yourself out of commission on Thursday. Okay.
Ooh, yeah,
too much cheese.
There's so much cubing to go. I just can't wait. Oh.
Bob taking his whole turn of resolving the second chapter of Binding the Old Gods.
Very good.
Yeah, this is gonna be tough. To say that Bob's on the back foot after Reed has ramped twice with first his white card and then second with his white card that turned to a black card.
That's correct.
just to make sure that we're on the right track for that. Now, Reed's not putting a lot of pressure on, but the problem is, in round 1, when Reed played against Zach, he had no pressure. And then he took 2 turns and made 5 creatures and then played an Elderstorm and then won in a single turn.
Yeah.
So things can go 0 to 100 real quick for Reed, and I think this might be the start of it. If we're seeing a 5-drop, it could be a Mirari's Wake, and it is. And we know that is danger, Will Robinson for Bob, because if we see an untap with that, I mean, the game could simply end.
Yeah, so traditionally, the problem with ramp decks like Reed's, you need lands and ramp and threats. So, like, you've got the lands, the ramp, so you don't have the threats. However, because Reed had the heads-up play to transform Garruk the Relentless into Garruk the Veil Cursed, now that Garruk can get rid of these wolves or what have you and just look for any creature in Reed's library.
And that's exactly what's going to happen. We're going to see Reed's like, Scholar, I appreciate you for what you've done, but it's time for you to go.
And now Reed is making sure any creature?
Any creature.
What if they cost 10 and say Cascade 4 times?
That'd be devastating.
That'd be the apex of his curve, most likely.
Bob is fanning out his hand, raising his eyebrows, saying, "All right, this one might be quick." And we're gonna see Bob, I don't know, take a draw, give it a go.
Yeah, we're seeing this is the final rounds of Swiss, as it were, in this tournament.
Yeah,
and we're gonna see if Bob does have what it takes to probably make a Swiss cheese of his opponent, but it's not looking great. Not looking good.
It is not looking good. It's not looking good at all for Bob.
Maybe this is a Maelstrom Pulse, perhaps. I'm not sure.
Cultivate.
You know
know what? You gotta hope that maybe. So Apex Devastator doesn't have haste.
Correct. Maybe
Bob's got the haste one.
Yeah, maybe Apex Devastator hits 4 mana creatures or ramp or signets or what have you.
Felwar Stone, Signet. I mean,
it's a dream. That's a dream.
Yeah, there's a dream still to be lived if your opponent massively whiffs on their mini Cascade card.
Yeah. So Bob just has to deal with that and this Garruk.
All right,
Thief of Sanity.
Hey, I mean,
it's a 2/2 for 3.
Yeah, get it going. I mean, it's not just a Gray Ogre. It is on defense.
So, it's a Windrake. It's got flying. Most
true.
common keyword in the game, my friend.
Is it?
Yes.
All right.
It can attack that Garruk next turn and put it to, and maybe even kill it.
I do not think that can attack next turn.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna throw that out on a limb and believe that is a blocking Thief of Sanity, and Sakura Tribe Elder is going to be sacrificed because Reed says, you know what's better than 12 mana, 14 mana.
Ooh, I can get behind that.
Yeah, well, what about 16? Because if Reed has a land,
16 mana?
We know there's an Apex Devastator, and we also know that Reed can get rid of that Death Touch Wolf to find whatever the second best creature in his deck is.
Well, maybe it's just like a 6-drop or a 4-drop.
Or maybe Reed plays a land, puts Lutri in his hand, just hangs out there, and just see what happened with Apex Devastator. Just see what happens.
Maybe like a Alrund's Epiphany gets flipped, and Lutri can just slide right in.
Slide on in there.
Slide into those Apex Devastator DMs and cast it again.
And we're at 16. And are we gonna see Lutri go to hand?
16.
Let me tell you, there's the thing that so we're tapping for 14.
14? All right,
we're at 11. Yeah, this is what's happening. Reed is setting it up. He is like, I have a very specific dream I want to live. It is cast Apex Devastator.
Time stretch.
Into something that takes extra turns, and then I will absolutely take extra turns. Also, Reed has used multiple times dice to indicate the amount. Okay,
yep.
This is what you need if you're Bob.
2 Cascades left.
Okay.
All right, the orb.
The orb.
1 Cascade left.
Well, and here and Reed's like, I got some responses.
Tap this for RR, as you do.
The cheese is standing alone, and the cheese in this case is Reed Duke going to finish it out with seeing the play we've seen before as he finishes out just about every round with copying an Alrund's Epiphany off of a Cascade. David, could you have drawn it up any better to represent what this cube is about?
Not really. No, this is exactly what you're signing up for with Live the Dream Cube. This cube's all about big splashy plays. Casting Apex Devastator, there are not many cubes that can have that card be in the environment because, the smaller spells. But in the Live the Dream Cube, you cast Time Walk, you cast Apex Devastator, you cast the Time Walk again with Lutri.
Incredible.
It's wonderful. Incredible. And that is, that can be a commander-type experience, but, really it's just having fun and doing crazy plays like that Garruk with Scholar of New Horizons.
Yeah.
The Apex Devastator with the Lutri sliding in there.
I love that there was a play in this cube that you were like, I haven't seen that before. That's awesome.
I love that.
That is what that's what Cube is about.
Yeah.
Is you make everything and you're like, go nuts.
Yeah.
Do your best or do your worst.
Worst.
Yeah, whatever you want. We're gonna see if we can get Reed in the booth with that charcuterie board. So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to get Reed in here, and we'll be back in seriously just a minute. Do not go anywhere. We'll be back in just a moment.
It's like 2 minutes.
All right, Justin Partnell, Dave McDarby here with our winner, the cheese that is standing alone, Reed Duke.
We do. Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Nice work.
It's a great honor, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Honor to be here.
Have you ever won a more insane prize?
Like yeah. Like look. There's this cheese here, kind of in the camera. Look at this. How do you feel?
I feel blessed. I feel great. This is awesome. I got the hat. I got the board. I got all this cheese. And it's only day one. It's day one of CubeCon.
It's all up from here.
Yeah.
I think we'll probably have to share this cheese with a lot of people. As I mentioned, it's not safe for a single person to eat this much.
Yeah.
So about your deck, we knew that your plan after we saw it in that game one against Zach, that we were like, okay, the plan is
Devastation.
Yeah, we're gonna copy this orange 50 with this.
Yes. Yeah. So first of all, Lutri is just amazing card in basically, I mean, any cube format is singleton to begin with. So you just get this free value every single game you play. Not to mention setting up copying one of those game-winning sorceries is like a very realistic plan. So I was actually just a white-green deck, and then I opened Lutri, and I'm like, you know what? I'll find a way to make this work.
Life will find a way with Lutri.
And so that was great. And then the rest of the deck, my first pick of the whole draft was Mirari's Wake. That was why I wanted to go for
You
for
planted
white-green.
your flag in green-white.
Yes.
In the big cube, all about big splashy spells. You know what? This card that doubles my mana, you're in.
Yeah, and it's awesome too because, I mean, so there's the one element where it's like I'm building a cohesive deck where I want to get to 7, 8, 10 mana. Then there's the other element where it's like, hey, this is just a game of limited where like we both have creatures and we're attacking and blocking and we're doing stuff. And the +1/+1 is like really relevant, especially with some of the other green and white cards that are out there.
Especially with Auron's Epiphany.
Oh,
that makes
birds.
a big difference.
Yeah, and I had like the big 7 mana Elish Norn, which also kind of cuts both ways, like pumps your tokens or is just a payoff for having tons of mana. I'm having a hard time with the hat, by the way.
It's all right.
Well,
We'll take it off. We'll take it off.
I'm just gonna hold it. But
Yeah,
Hey,
it
all right.
suits you very well.
That's why,
Here as you stand alone. So, we noticed you played a lot of Magic before, and the heads-up play at the end with the Scholar of New Horizons with the Garrick. Did you plan for that to happen while you were making your deck? Or
So the Garrick, I actually didn't start it. I was like, I had a lot of good options at the 4 mana slot, so I decided with the Garrick, I'll wait if they have like Mana Dork, something where I can use the fight ability, then I'll bring it in. I had looked at the Scholar, and I think I had thought about using that with the Saga.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with that card, and the Planeswalker. So getting to transform the Garrick like easy mode, that was really awesome. Yeah, I mean that Scholar is a card that impressed me when I read it. I was pretty excited to have that.
And you had a lot. I mean, you were ramping both ways with both of the best combos in your card with the Saga, especially with like Restoration of Aganjo and then the Garrick. So yeah, that was something that we were trying to call in the booth, and we were trying to figure out what's going on. And then we're like,
wait,
we
oh my gosh.
counter.
Yeah. Oh, this is what's going on. That's amazing.
That's great. So yeah, very awesome. So amazing to watch. Your deck, everyone's deck was so much fun, but yours was very representative of this cube. So we're so happy that you are the cheese that's standing alone.
Yeah, thank you very much. I mean, I just the one sentence description of the cube of living the dream.
Yeah,
it was like Mirari's Wake. This 10 mana.
Yeah,
creature.
man.
Yeah. So yeah, it was great fun. It was awesome.
Nice.
Awesome.
Props on a cool cube.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for playing and showing me some new tricks and like doing awesome games on camera. Apex Devastator. Like, how often are you gonna cast that card?
Yeah, and I think I cast it 2 times and hit the time walk both times.
I know. We were like, we know what's gonna happen.
You got that loot. We're like, oh, that loot's gonna slide right in here.
I did the math. I was like, he's gonna have 16 mana.
That was a real like overkill play, but I mean, it's all living the dream.
Right,
Exactly. Yeah,
That's
you
what
got
we're
the
here
memo.
for. Well, we have a lot more dream to be lived at CubeCon 2023 this weekend. So for Dave McDarby, for Reed Duke, our winner, I'm Justin Partnell, and we will see you back in another event in just a few minutes.